The first month of school often predicts the tone of the rest of the year. Preparation reduces conflict. So, in today's episode, we're going to focus on getting organized before the problems for the beginning of the school year actually begin. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are in the world. I am somewhere else in the world right now myself. Welcome back to the Co-Parenting with Dr. Jerry podcast. We are going to shift a little bit on these next two episodes because I myself am dealing with the beginning of the school year in a new country. And I want to make sure that my co-parents are ready for this transition. Whether it's your first time going into the school year with your tiny humans, or whether it's your 15th time going into the school year with some college or adults, children, okay? I want you to make sure that you are going into it with a lot less stress. So the beginning of the school year is quickly upon us, and I want you to be prepared. Please remember that I am here to assist you with navigating the complexities of co-parenting with clarity, compassion, and collaboration, ensuring a nurturing environment that centers on the well-being of the child or children above all else. This is a place where we have honest conversations about parenting, co-parenting, emotional wellness, and the realities of parenting that nobody prepares us for. All right, so let's hop into it. I'm going to try to make this episode short and sweet today. I'm going to try to stick to 30 minutes. We're going to see how that goes. But this is every topic that I talk about is kind of a topic that I can get on my soapbox about. But today, back to school, I know is stressful for everyone. Whether you are homeschooling, whether you are taking your children to public school, private school, college, or what have you, back to school can be a very stressful event for the children, but also it is stressful for parents as well. This is because schedules change and the schedule is huge. Activities begin if they are in any type of sports or anything like that, then yes, your activities may have begun before the school year started, the actual school day. Homework starts or increases, and I'm sitting here with my leg up in my chair, y'all, because I got a different chair right now, so got to be comfortable. Um, Homework starts or increases, so you have to put that into the schedule. And communication should be a little bit more frequent. And it's communication on the topic of your child, on the topic of schooling. So without preparation, these small issues can become big, big conflicts in your relationship. So today I'm going to share three systems that can help you start the year strong, even if the co-parenting relationship isn't necessarily the easiest. And what I want you to do is keep doing what I've been saying all of this time. Go back and look at my other episodes if you have not, the ones where I talked about the five uh, characteristics of effective co-parenting. We talked about the 5 C's, but I consistently say keep the conversation about your child or the children focus. Okay. So strategy number one, we're focused on the child. I want you to hold a back to school planning meeting. Okay. Even if it's only 15, 20 minutes that you can talk to your co-parents or talk to the people involved that are helping you and supporting you for the school year. Even if it's family, even if it's friends that are involved in pickup routines or after school activities and things like that. Hold a back to school planning meeting. For example, what are we doing for back to school? You are going to discuss, and if you need to take some notes, take some notes. You are going to discuss things like transportation. How's your child getting back and forth to school? Who's going to take them? What time is pickup? Are we going to be able to be consistent? What time is drop off? All of this type of thing. Okay. Pickup routines, drop off routines, supplies that they may need. The school has sent out, I'm sure, or has posted on the website your supply list that your child needs. Make sure you get as many of those things as you can. Most times schools will have extras in classrooms. Please do not get upset if the classroom has community supplies. So whatever you donate, it's going to be piled somewhere for the teacher to kind of like give out during the year. So you don't have to keep replenishing things all throughout the year. Okay. That's the way that a lot of teachers do it. They're not stealing your supplies. They're stockpiling them and they divvy them out as the kids use them or needs them. That keeps the kids from wasting things. Okay. So when you see the supply list and you take all of those things and you want to label all of those things with your child's name, if the teacher is doing that where they're just stockpiling everything and divvying it out, have that conversation with the teacher. I mean, it actually saves you money so you're not, when your child is using up things just for no reason and you keep having to go buy stuff, okay? It actually saves you money. But got off on a tangent. You're going to discuss supplies, school events, attendance expectations. Does your co-parent believe that your child should have the best attendance that they possibly can? Or is your child going to be able to wake up on the day and just and say, I don't want to go to school, and your co-parent say, okay. Okay. What are your attendance expectations for school? If they are playing a sport, their attendance and their grades have to be at a certain level. Parent-teacher conferences. What do we want to do about parent-teacher conferences? You want to take the first one, I take the second one. Do you want to go together? What have you? Emergency plans. When you fill out any paperwork to register your child for school, this is very important. Whoever's name is on the paperwork is who they will allow to pick them up. If you do not have your co-parent on there as an emergency contact or as the father or as the mother, do not get upset when they do not let your child leave with them. It is a legal concern for the school. Okay, this is why they have parents fill out this documentation, provide birth certificates and all that type of stuff. If the father's name is on the birth certificate, most of the time they're going to allow the father to have information about that child. Please don't get upset because that's a legal thing. Has nothing to do with us, but we got to follow the rule. Okay, so emergency plans are very important. Do not wait until the emergency happens to say, oh yeah, their grandmother's going to pick them up if something happens. And if grandma is not on the emergency contact list, grandma is not going to be able to pick that child up. All right. If something happens with your child medically at school, for example, they sprain something or they break a bone or they have to call an ambulance for them because of an asthma attack or something like that, please make sure that your emergency contacts are updated with phone numbers and emails that people can actually reach somebody. You cannot get upset if the school continuously calls whoever you put on your emergency contact list and nobody answers and they can't get in contact with anybody because the numbers are disconnected. Don't get upset with the school when they try to do their due diligence. Okay? Emergency contacts are one of the most important things that you need to continuously update, even if you know your phone number is changing constantly, or give somebody's phone number that you know stays consistent and that will be able to get in touch with you or the other co-parent. Emergency plans. So for this back to school meeting, you are going to focus on logistics, what we call logistics, all the little details of that goes along with your child being at school all day with educators. In essence, people you might not necessarily know. Okay. What all information do they need? Do not, and this is another thing I'm going to say. Do not hand all of this information to the teacher thinking that the teacher is going to be the one that is going to transfer all of this information to the main office that holds all student records and all of this information that will be needed. The main office, the secretary or administrative assistants or attendance clerks, those are the people that input all of this data into the system, the student information system that the teacher uses to get the information from. The teacher has 20 something in middle school, 100 something in high school, 100 something kids that they are trying to teach every day. Your information will get lost in the sauce. Not because they wanted to, because many teachers have the best intentions of keeping the most updated information for their students. But we also end up looking into the system and being like, oh, the parent didn't tell me about this person that's on the emergency list or this person. Do not give all of this information to the teacher if you're not going to give it to the main office as well. They are the ones that need the information to put into the student information system. And at any point in time, you can request, what information do you all have in the student information system for my son or daughter? Because I want to make sure that it's updated. All right. So you're going to focus on logistics in this back to school meeting. This is strategy number one, not relationship issues. I don't care if you just had an argument with your co-parent. It's just like if you're married to somebody, okay? Nobody should know you're arguing. Nobody should know that there is a conflict. If you argue with your husband or significant other right before you go to an event, nobody at that event should know that you all just argued. That ain't none of their business. And you should be walking around with your face tied up. You are at an event, let it go until you get back in the car. It's time to put that aside. We got to learn to separate facts from feelings. The fact is, I need to go to this event. I need to take care of this back to school meeting with my co-parent. That's the fact. The feelings that I have at that point in time, I have to put off until whenever. Maybe right after the meeting, I can say something. But right now, I got to focus on logistics for my child. Okay? So some action steps that you can take to get this done. Schedule the meeting before school starts. And I don't mean the day before school starts. Okay? It is now July. It's the end of July. School usually starts in August. Mid-August or end of August for most of us now. I mean, my school, I'm in another country. It started at the beginning of August, about a week. Okay. But US, mid-August, end of August, beginning of September. So schedule the meeting. Schedule the meeting before school starts. Okay. Create some type of written agreement of what it is we're going to do. Whether the written agreement is actually, we're putting this on the calendar right now, our shared calendar that we should have started based on Dr. Jerry's last 4 episodes. Okay. We're putting this on the calendar right now, or I'm going to send you an email. This is our agreement to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to send you an email right now that so you'll have it. Okay. Create a written agreement about what it is the schedule is going to look like and share it with your child. Share it with your child. There's nothing wrong with that. So you're going to share it with your child. You're going to share it with your co-parent. Share all the notes afterwards so we can talk about it. Now, if your child can't read, that's okay. But if you have tiny humans that are going to kindergarten or whatever, you can still communicate. Well, dad is going to pick you up this day. I'm going to pick you up that day. I'm going to drop you off every day. These are some of our plans. And as they come up, keep talking to them about what the plans are. Keep it at the forefront so that they feel like, oh, everybody has a plan for me. That's good. I feel safe. They have a structure. They have some expectations. They have a schedule, which they are going to experience having a schedule in school. It's going to be posted somewhere, their daily schedule. Same thing for you. There should be a daily schedule. All right. So the first strategy I want you to do is schedule a back to school meeting with your co-parent. Strategy 2, you all know what's coming. I just said it. Get that shared school calendar together. Get it together. Do not rely on your memory. You can use one shared digital calendar. You can create a paper calendar that you make a copy of, give it to them. They put it on the refrigerator or post it in the child's room or whatever. Build that shared school calendar. If you don't have a family one, I had one for my home that was the school calendar was integrated into that one because I had things going on at work that my child needed to know about too. Activities and things like that that I had to do after work for my school or for my company that I was working for. My child needed to know that because she had 3 sports and drama and theater that she was doing. And she had all types of activities going on. There was no way I could make it to every activity for her. No way I can make it to every game, all of that. It was no way. Not with my calendar, too. Okay. But in order for her to understand and actually see, when she started seeing how many days I had to do what, how many days she had to do what, and all that, she understood why I may not show up to every game. She got it. Okay. So if they don't see it most of the time, they don't understand. You got to lay it out for them. That takes some of the shame, blame, the feeling bad off of you as well as a parent when you know you have to work and you have things to do as well. And you can't make everything that your child does. That's okay. But at least communicate that to them in some way. Show them on the calendar. Show them on the calendar. Nothing wrong with that. So let's go over this shared calendar again because this is our strategy number 2. You are going to include holidays. You're going to include any school testing dates or anything like that. Any days that your child has a doctor's appointment that you might have to do an early dismissal. So kids know that you're picking them up early, or dropping them off late if you have to drop them off late and they have an early doctor's appointment in the morning. Any sports that they play, clubs, concerts, parent-teacher conferences, picture day, if they have picture day, or any, meet the teacher nights, curriculum nights, field trips. Color code the events if that's helpful. Make it something fun. Like my daughter and I, my daughter used to love color code and stuff. She does it to this day in college, y'all. She color codes different notes and all this type of stuff. But we started this when she was young and we had her calendar going for her visitation with her father, all her events and all that type of stuff, right? We started color coding different things. Like if it was a activity after school, if it was mom's, school stuff going on, if it was her dad being out of town, the weeks that she actually was with me, the weeks that she was with her dad, we used to color code the calendar. And that is helpful when you color code the events for them. And you can start as they get older, they can start to make the key for it. Well, yellow means this, or pink means that, or, start making it fun to actually schedule out their life. I'm telling you, these types of habits follow them into their adulthood. My daughter does it now, and she's in graduate school. She has a big whiteboard in her bedroom that she puts notes on and things like that. But she also has a big calendar that she likes to write on. A lot of us learn by actually, it's called kinesthetic activities, by doing something, by writing, not just by listening or seeing it. Okay. Auditory or visual. Okay. Some of us need to do in order for it to stick. That's me. That's my daughter. All right. So color code the events. Make it a whole thing. Like make it fun. And some action steps that you can do for this strategy of the shared calendar is to add all the known dates that are important before the first day of school. You will see a school calendar on the school website. They have all the dates up there, starting like back in January, typically. They have put the dates for the next school year and the activities that are going on. But look at the school calendar on the website. Start putting all the known dates, the dates that you already know things are happening before the first day of school. That's something that can make it exciting. The first day of school exciting because we know we got all this stuff going on the first month. So after you do all the known dates, then you can start setting reminders for yourself for like 1 week and 1 day before major events that you know that you may, want to attend or that you can attend. All right. Set reminders on your phone. We have that. We got calendars, we got everything on our phone. There's no reason you should not have a calendar and reminders and all of this on your phone for major events. I'm sure you have it for doctor's appointments. Then review the calendar weekly. Every Sunday or Saturday. It just depended on the week for me. Every Saturday or Sunday, I will review the calendar of what's coming up for the next week and make sure that I remind my daughter and or ex-husband of anything that was like super important. Okay, that involved all of us. If it was my daughter, it was, I might say, well, I'm already scheduled parent teacher conferences. I'm supposed to go this date or whatever. Maybe you should stay after school. Or I'll meet you before I go to the conference or something like that. So review the calendar weekly and make sure that you have your ducks in order. Some other things that I started doing before school started was making sure that my clothes and her clothes were ironed for the week on Sundays or Saturdays. Depends on which one was more flexible. It is so much easier to iron a week's worth of clothes on a Saturday or a Sunday and then they just pull the outfits that they want to wear on whatever day. You don't have to say this outfit is for Monday, this outfit is for Tuesday, yada, yada, yada. Okay. She would give me the clothes that she wanted to wear for the week, one outfit per day that included pulling out socks, underwear, all of that type of stuff. I would iron them, put them on little hangers, hang them up. She would have her socks and all of that in a little bin for the week, set it right under the hanging clothes in the closet, and you pull from those throughout the week. We're not doing all that ironing stuff every day and you wait till the day of to pick out an outfit. No, that did not work for me. It did not work for my mornings where I was getting up at 4:30 a.m. to go work out at 5 and be back home by 6 and no. Mm-mm. No, that didn't work for me. So just that little tidbit about what you could do for setting up your week. Get those clothes out, get them ironed, get them ready for the week. If they decided they wanted to wear something else during the week, then they would have to wait, choose something that morning. If she decided, Mom, I don't want to wear, this, you got to choose one of these outfits for today. If you want to change what it is you're going to wear the rest of the week, then you got to wait till this evening and you're going to have to iron it because I'm not ironing it. So when I ask you to pick out outfits for the week, that's what I mean. Look at the weather. Let me show you the weather app. Look at the weather app on your phone for the week. Look at what the weather is supposed to be. Because we know it ain't always right. There's like no accountability in the job of a meteorologist. I'm just going to say that and we're going to get back on the thing. But anyway, look at the weather app. Get your 5 outfits out. You will choose each day which outfit you wear based on what the weather is actually like when we wake up. Most of the time, the weather is a little bit off, and you have at least one outfit that can go out that day with a jacket or something like that. It typically is not way off when you check the weather at the beginning of the week. Okay. All right. So that was strategy number 2. Get that shared calendar together before school starts. Okay. Make sure that you have some type of reminders for the week before, or for a week of, and one day before major events. Review your calendar weekly. Make sure you get all those known dates on your calendar before the first day of school. All right. Strategy number 3. Create consistent school routines across however many homes your child is in. And I say however many because I was a person whose parents was very active in my child's life growing up. So her grandparents, at some point in time in her growing up, may have dropped her off at school for me, may have picked her up from school for me, may have, picked her up from activities like for me if I had meetings or something like that. But there was a predictability to the schedule. So if my parents were going to be dropping her off, for example, it would be for a certain amount of time that they would be dropping her off. Now, if there is an emergency or something, then that's different. But children thrive with predictability. So any routine that you can set across all homes, that means mine, her dad's, and then my parents, Even at my sister's house, we all pretty much had the same routines. Um, for example, let's go into what types of routines are that I'm talking about. Homework expectations. What do we do when we do homework? My daughter, my niece, my nephew, same thing. You walk in from school, you grab yourself a snack, wash your hands, do whatever, grab yourself a snack, grab something to eat, sit down, get started on your homework. You are either at the kitchen table or the dining room table, or you're in your room. No TV. My daughter did not have a TV in her room. We only had one TV in the home that was in the living room, and that was for family time, like with her, she and I, or, with any family that came over, my niece, my nephew, my sister, whoever. Homework expectations should be the same across all houses. My parents did the same thing. She knew they all knew if they went to their grandparents' house, or they picked them up from school, that they walk in, they wash their hands, whatever, set their stuff down. They're able to go get a snack, something to drink, something to eat. They sit at the table. You had two choices, two or three choices where you could go. All right. Bedtime routines should be the same. You should not have one household that is allowing the child to go to sleep at 11 p.m. and the other household that's allowing the child that they got to be in bed by 8:30. Okay. There should be some preparation time before they go to bed. So at the same time every night, let's just say 8:30. At 8:30 every night, you should be asking. Everybody should be asking, no matter where they are. Um, are you about to get your bedtime routine started? Because you need to be in bed by 9. Like, have you washed your face, brushed your teeth, taken a shower, taken your bath? Have you done these things? So they shouldn't be sitting on the couch still at 9 o'clock watching TV, or sitting in their room on the game at a certain time. And games need to be taken out of the room when they're supposed to be asleep. I'm just going to be honest. Y'all got to stop with this. All right. The games and all of this type of stuff need to be out of the room, even if you have to take the phone. These kids need rest. They need to sleep. Their brain needs downtime. Whatever you got to do it. Set the routine for it. As they're growing up, they will have the expectation, this is what it is. You cannot wait until they are teenagers to start saying, oh, I'm taking the game out of your room and all this type. Then you're going to be you asking for pushback. You are the parent. You can do what you want to do in your house. Okay. I'm not saying that you can't, but what I'm saying is it's going to be harder for you and more of a push and pull if you wait. Set the routine while they're young. Even if you have to set it now as a teenager, that's fine too. But you're going to be ready for some pushback if this is something that you have not done before. Bedtime routine needs to be a routine that is predictable, and it needs to be some expectations to it. All right. That goes along with device use. They need to have a routine for when they have access to the device, what they have access to on their device, because you can put some blocks and some apps and things on their phone where they can't do certain things and say certain things. Parents act like they don't have that type of stuff for devices. They do. You can lock that phone down at a certain time. You can allow only a certain amount of surfing time on their phone or data use on their phone, and block the use of data. Yes, it can get that serious. And yes, it should get that serious. And there is nothing wrong with that. Okay. Reading time. I know this is a lost art. And I'm not talking about just reading on a laptop. They actually should have some reading time, not on a tablet. Start getting these kids some books, man. This is the thing when they go to college. All of their books are not on, you might think that they are, but all of their books are not digital. They got these big, thick books that they have to read and navigate through. They need some reading time at home. Free your mind. Get them some books on topics that they like. Even if it's graphic comics or something like our graphic novels with a bunch of pictures in, it doesn't matter. They need some time where they decompress. My daughter used to read and journal before she went to bed. Journaling is a great way, a great routine too, because it helps them to get stuff off of their mind before they lay down to rest. They need a reading, journaling time routine. Morning preparation should be a routine. The mornings should look the same in both households or in all households. They should be getting up around the same time. It should be communicated what time they get up at your house and what time they get up at theirs. Now, if you guys live in two different places, one is closer to school than the other, or the commute time is longer, or whatever, that may change some things. But the way that they prepare for their morning, with you get out of bed, you go wash your face, brush your teeth, you do your hair, you put your clothes on, come downstairs, get some breakfast before, whether they prepared their lunch the night before or you prepared their lunch the night before. I used to prepare lunches for the week because I used to meal prep for myself for the week. Morning preparation should look the same, even if you have to write it in the list of steps for them as they get older. You can use pictures for the step when they're younger. You can use words for the steps as they get older. This is what we do in the morning. This is your morning prayer, getting yourself together. Packing backpacks. Consistency in the routines does not mean that they have to be identical, like they have to look exactly alike, because every household is different. It just means your child knows what to expect and what is expected of them. But I'm telling you right now, if you do not inspect what you expect, there's going to be misalignments. They're not going to do it. So if you are not there watching them do these types of things, or you're not giving feedback as they are not adhering to the expectations, and you are saying, no, you need to do this, you need to do this. This might be best for you to do first rather than this, because I see you're taking your hair, doing your hair is taking longer than you washing your face and brushing your teeth. So maybe you should do your hair last. Or if you want to, give them choices. Or if you want to take longer, do your hair first, then wash your face and brush your teeth. Or do your hair first, then get dressed, then wash your face and brush your teeth. You can give them choices, but my thing is this. If you don't show that you're actually watching them do these things by giving them some feedback on how they might do it more efficiently or effectively, based on whether they're running late every morning or not, because they can't get something done or they're taking too long on something else, then if you don't inspect what you are expecting from them, they're gonna do what they want to do. You can say your expectations all day. I just talked to somebody about this, like in a marriage the other day. Um, and I'm not married, so I don't give marriage advice, but I was just listening to what this person said they expected in their marriage. But in the marriage itself, when it was going on, you didn't even expect that because that person ain't never do what you expect. So it's like, yeah, you can say what you expect all day long, but did you even recognize that the person didn't even adhere to your expectations? They just went off and did what they wanted to do, and you just accepted it because I guess you felt like, well, I guess you forgot about your own expectations. Oh my God. But oh, people put out expectations of what they expect from people all the time, but they do not follow up. It's the follow through for me. It's the follow up for me. Okay. Do not put out there, well, I want you to do this or I expect you to do that. This is in relationships too. Let's just say that. Do not put out that you have these expectations for someone and you're not going to follow through or follow up on whether or not they are adhering to those expectations. You can talk a good game all day, but if your actions in the line, that's a problem for me. So my thing is this: if I expect, and we all need to hold fast to this. If you expect something from someone, you need to go and inspect it and make sure that it's getting done. Also, if you expect something from someone, you need to make sure that you're able to deliver the same for them. So don't throw out expectations and what you want if you cannot deliver the same thing for them. You out kicking your coverage, like my best friend says. You out kicking your coverage. Don't do that. So, action steps for creating consistent routines across the household is for you to create a school night checklist. Like, what do we do on school nights? This is what you do. I just talked about you can do pictures for your tiny humans to show them what we do in what order. We start at the top and we go down. Okay. And you can create one with words for your older children. Okay. Create a school night checklist. This is what we do. Post it in their room or post it in the bathroom or post it in the hallway or, somewhere that they're going to be. You can also post a morning routine in both homes. You can do that. And you need to review the expectations with your child or children all together when you possibly can. Because this is the why. If your child knows that you and your co-parent are on the same page, they know that they can't get over. Okay? Because the expectation is the same. So you need to review those expectations with your child. All right? Okay, somebody came to my door, y'all, in another country. Anyway, so I had to check that out. I had the wrong door though. All right. So before school starts, we've gone through our three strategies. Okay. We talked about having a before school meeting. We talked about your shared calendar and we talked about consistent routines across the homes. So this is the challenge I want to give you before school starts. and I want you to write these down. I want you to make sure that you complete that shared calendar. Make sure it's distributed to everybody and talked about. I want you to make sure that you finish whatever school or supply shopping you need to do. I want you to practice the morning routine that you have with your child at least twice, 2 times, at least 2 times before school starts, not the night before school starts. The week before school starts, practice the morning routine twice. And I want you to review the transportation plans with your co-parent and whoever else is involved in transportation for your child. Talk with your child about any worries that they may have starting school. And make sure that your emergency contacts are who they need to be. I don't care if you have to give 5 different emergency contacts to a school. The school does not care. If it's only 2 on there, go to the office and give them 3 more. They don't care. They do not care. Give the school the emergency contacts that they need just in case anything happens at the school or with your child. All right. The bottom line is, once again, I've said this before, children don't need perfect parents. They don't need you to do all of this perfect. They need you to be prepared for what's going on with back to school. Back to school success is not about avoiding every challenge that you're going to have. Okay. It's about creating systems. I am a systems thinker, if you guys have not noticed that yet. It's about creating systems that help your family to respond with, let's just say, some confidence instead of chaos. Beginning the school year in chaos will only set you up to continue in that way. It snowballs. So start the school year out with some confidence. When parents plan together, even if it's like imperfect, okay? Because my planning hasn't always been perfect. You refine it, okay? But even if it's imperfect, the child still feels more security, less anxiety, and greater success in school when parents plan together, when they know that they got a team working for them. They feel so much better. All right. So thank you guys for listening tonight. Greetings from another country, and I'll tell you about it in the next episode once I get a little bit more into it. But thank you for listening to this episode tonight. Once again, if you have any comments or any questions, always put them in the comments section. And remember to go out there and co-parent with a purpose. I'll see you guys later. Bye.